with all that stuff about interracial and things. Let's get into this story. Let's talk about Todrick. So Todrick Hall is in the news where he went on social media because we just did one story regarding Gay Magazine. Well, Gay Magazine posted this story. So Todrick Hall is out here revealing that he is newly single. I think he's still is he still doing burlesque on Broadway? So yeah, so Todrick is back in the news and he revealed that he's single. The multi-talented singer, dancer, actor, and producer took to Instagram to share a list of requirements for his next boo thing. Hall's most recent boyfriend is believed to have been choreographer and dancer Liam Rudehouse, or Rudehouse. I guess that's how y'all say it over in where's he from? Isn't he like Australian or something? I don't remember Liam because at one point Todrick had this YouTube channel thing that he was doing where he was like doing docuseries or whatever. And Liam was all up in that damn video. And no shade, but I actually thought it wasn't a real relationship. But they say they were together. So I'm not going to judge it anymore. So at first I was like, okay, girl, y'all pulling stunts trying to pretend y'all dating. But he said they date. So Todrick also announced their relationship with a hard launch on Instagram in August of 2023. So here we are in 2025. So they've been going together for seemed like 2 years based off of the numbers or the math. The two were working together up until recently, with Rudehouse involved with Hall's musical projects, Burlesque and Midnight. Well, I don't know how I feel about being in a relationship with someone that's also in charge of the creative aspect of what I'm doing. I need to separate that. But if y'all work together and you find ways of that y'all work creatively and, work-wise and intimately, then who am I to judge? But I think for me, I don't want my significant other in any of my business affairs. However, it seems their romantic relationship is over and they're now just good friends. Or should we say good Judies? Now, according to a reply Hall posted to a viewer's comment on Instagram, the relationship ended months ago. On an Instagram post over the weekend, he shared a handwritten list of what he wants from a new boo or a new boyfriend. He said in the caption, "This is an exercise because I think it's important for us to manifest what we want. No beef with my ex, love him to pieces, but ready to start a new chapter. Don't be afraid to say what you want and don't settle for anything less than what you need." Well, I just feel like, remember, what was that called? The List or something or another? Well, that bullshit that Oprah was out there selling, The Secret, that mess. Now, if you say it out loud and you get, and I do believe in manifesting things, because there's been times where I manifest stuff or I bring something up or I say something and it does come true. So I do believe that when you put energy out there of what you want out in the world, it will collectively come to you eventually. So I truly believe that. But he came up with this list. And why when I saw this list, I was out here thinking of, what's that broad Chili from TLC? Remember when she came out that long list when she did that tight ass reality show where she was looking for a man? And I was like, bitch, that's why your ass single. But she got Joey Lawrence's brother that she out here messing with, Matthew. So yeah, here's the list of what he said. This is the first page. This is 2 pages. So we're going to get to we'll just go through the list. So he put funny, needs a sense of humor. Okay, yeah, I like that. But I like being a funny one. I like cracking all the jokes and you laughing at my stupid stuff. But I want to be able to laugh too. So yeah, if you got a sense of humor, I'm for that. Spontaneous. Well, I don't know. I'm a Virgo. We don't like spontaneous. We like, okay, we gotta go through the whole situation. Why we being spontaneous? Why do you want to do this? Why we gotta do it? Like it's a whole situation that I gotta go through in order for my mind to convince me to do something. I'm not really spontaneous in that way. I'm spontaneous when it comes to work, but relationship stuff is like, we gotta kind of rehearse and work this situation out. So it can be difficult for us Virgos to do spontaneity. Then he says someone who can articulate how they feel and how I could be a better partner for them. You want to know something? I like he said that. Only because a lot of people always go, I want a man who could be a better person for me and all this other stuff, or fulfill my needs, turn around. I was like, I don't know why that song just popped in my head. But I do agree with that. Like, I like the fact that he said that because to me, it feels like it comes from a selfless place. He said, how I can be a better partner for you, not how you, and I'm sure the vice versa is there. But He's coming at it like, I want to be a better partner for you. So you get points for that, Todrick. Another person is someone loyal that I can trust to tell me when, even when they F up or when I have. I like that too. Talented or driven at what they do, must be passionate about something. Yeah, you got to be passionate about something if you with me. Like, you can't just be somebody that just sits on your ass and watch TV all day and got no kind of goals and no kind of motivation. Anybody got time for that? I'm not taking care of nobody. You are not just going to sit around and be some old lazy queen that I'm just drilling, your hole whenever I get in the mood. You got to be able to stand for something. You got to be passionate. You got to have some kind of reason you want to live on Earth or breathe the air that you're breathing. Align morally and ethically. Okay. I'm liking the list so far. Someone who pushes me to try new things and be a better version of myself. That sounds like it goes back to being spontaneous. It's like, but then again, you want to know something? I understand in relationships, it's about, look at me growing and maturing. I understand in relationships, it's about compromise. So there's going to be times where I don't want to watch that show and my partner wants to watch something. I'm like, oh, man, I'll sit through this crap and watch the show with you. I mean, I'll say that in my head. I don't want to say it out loud. I'll try to put the filter on a little bit. But, um, yeah, I'll be willing to try new things. I'll push myself out of my comfort zone if I'm in a relationship. I don't want to be like that lame piece of POS where it's like, you don't want to do nothing fine. Must love musical theater. Okay. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, nobody's that gay. I'm kidding. Well, Todrick likes his musical theater. Todrick is a music theater queen. He likes he likes the stage. He likes all that other stuff. So I get it. But me, I'm not really into musical theater. I like some musicals. I mean, I don't like musical movies though. It depends. Why do you think I haven't gone to see Wicked? Even though Sailor Mermaid be trying to get me to go see some damn, I was like, and that's why I always respond, nobody's that gay. But I'm not really big into musicals. I mean, I watch them when I'm going to hang out with friends, whatever the case was. Like, I'll see a play, but I'm not really like a musical theater head, I guess I'll say. Now, also say must be empathetic and try to understand the Black experience if they're not Black. I'm with you on that, and I'm glad he posted that because Todrick gets accused of being cucking himself to white people and all this. So we'll get into that in a minute because y'all some shady behinds because y'all did throw in the comments. Well, he didn't put must be white. Some said white, some said YT, and the gag is Todrick responded to some of y'all that said that. So it's funny, and he be watching, and I'm sure he probably gonna watch this video too. But and you know me, I say what I say regardless. And so that's always kind of been an accusation. Todrick seems to be someone who goes after white boys, that he's not necessarily into Black men, that he purposely seeks those men out. But we had that conversation earlier. When you look at somebody like a Todrick or a Billy Porter or someone who isn't sort of, and this is no shade, masculine presenting, when you don't give that whole stereotype thing, because there's a lot of Black boys and men who, because of the church and a lot of the upbringing of being Black, they don't feel that they could be out and all this other stuff. So a lot of people are DL doing things in this, doing secret shit. And then you hear a lot of the homophobia that comes from the church. So, I believe in God. I just don't believe in organized religion. That's when that person came in my comments like, you believe in God? And I said, like, Tamar Braxton, like, when she said to Iyanla, do you? That's how I felt in that situation. Like, what you're not going to do is sit up here and question my relationship with a higher power because you want to come in here with some homophobic slit shit because I cuss your ass out like I did to that person earlier, and then I'm going to block you. So we're not going to do that. Not on Beyonce's internet. And Blue Ivy's internet. I got to add her in there too. And Solange. Because, she like beating people up in elevators. But anyway, so I totally get all that stuff, but it's just like I said before, I'm sure there are a lot of young Black men who are not masculine presenting, would love to date their own color, would love to date another Black man, as they call it, same gender loving. Would love to do it. But when you have a lot of people who have a lot of deep-rooted inside hatred because of the church and a lot of upbringing, we got to keep it on the low. And it's like, I work too damn hard to come out and be myself. I'm not hiding myself for another relationship, not with no Black man. And to look at it from this standpoint, a lot of times why Black men date outside their race because white men have been able to go out and live freely and be openly gay, and it's not that hard of an issue. So being in a relationship, in an integrated relationship, they're out, they're proud, they're being themselves, and I don't have to hide who I am when I'm with that white male. But I do like the idea of the list, basically saying, um, be empathetic and try to understand the Black experience if they're not Black. And then last but certainly not least, on page 1, self-awareness. Nothing is worse than someone who can't read the room. Oh, I've been saying that for the longest. Quiet as it's kept. Some people feel like Todrick lacks reading the room. Especially that time when he was on Celebrity Big Brother. But maybe he's changed. Maybe he's matured since those years. What was that, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago? People, we love people who evolve in their human experience. So I'll give him that. But and then he also said, demonstrating that they're still good friends, ex-boyfriend Rude House was among those to comment saying, I'll help sort out the applications for you. So look, they're on good terms. Liam said, look, if you're trying to find you a man, I'll help you find it. I'll go through the application, whoever want to shoot their shot. And if you're a Black man out there who willing to step up to the plate and date Todrick, send your application. Metaphoric application. Slide in the DMs. So let's get to page 2. Because there's more that goes with it. So that was like the good stuff. So they said that was just, so then he posted a follow-up list, which included, a big booty is my weakness. Just, boy, get out my head. Because y'all already know over here, y'all already know when it comes to Chris, what's my weakness? Besides men. Here I go. Okay, girls, what's my weakness? Men. Y'all know that line. Shout out to my girl, Salt and Pepper. So, big booties. If you got an ass on you, boy, you better, run the other direction, because I am a ass connoisseur. Ass is my weakness. It definitely is. So, another thing they said, must have unwavering respect and understanding that no one is better than Beyonce. Okay, now you lost me. We're not doing that. Not on, as I just stated 5 seconds ago, Beyonce and Blue Ivy and even Solange's internet. You can't do that whole no one is better. But that's what you doing? He said, must want children. I'll literally have 4 kids. Well, I hope you got enough coin to get you what you call it? A surrogate. Because, Snoop Dogg grandson don't know how same-sex couples have babies. So, I believe that was a conversation that he had with Liam on the show. Where they was talking about having kids. And there was even a segment where he went down to like the center where they have surrogates and other stuff. He also has good penmanship when I was looking at this paper. But anyway, then he also said, I know it's 2025, but must be okay with the idea of... Okay, he's starting to lose me. Y'all already know the M word. Hold on. I need a moment. Let me try to push it out. Monogamy. So yeah, that word. I'm allergic. And monogamy is not necessarily like, First of all, I'm not sitting here hunting the same booty for like 30, 40 years. That was like my parents' era. I can't. First of all, this is why I live in New York, and this is why I'm single. Because it's like, first of all, I like to come and go as I please. And there's so many hors d'oeuvres on the dish. I want to try it all. I just can't, and I could be in a relationship with somebody and just love you on so many other layers. When it comes to the sex, I'm gonna try everything on the menu, and it's no shade. And if y'all want to call me a whore and a slut, whatever the case is, oh well, it is what it is. I'll wear that crown proudly. Like Eva Destruction is wearing her crown proudly over there on Drag Race Titans, or Dragula Titans, season 2. Then it said, this is big. Relationships are hard. I need someone with stamina who is willing to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty when times get rough. Well, we talking about sex, or we talking about just a lot of stuff? Like or we talking about like when it comes to a relationship, when things get a little cray-cray, you don't start running in the other direction. Like, oh, I can't do this. It's too hard. It's like, face it head on, work through it, and don't go to sleep angry. Because this is one thing I've learned, like from my parents, whatever. You don't do the silent treatment. Don't go to bed angry. Don't all that stuff. Work your stuff out in that moment. And then he says a connection to Wizard of Oz and Disney is a massive plus. Like I said, nobody's that gay, but apparently we found somebody who is. Another thing he says, someone who isn't a coattail rider. I don't want a gold digger. Okay, Kanye. He don't want somebody that basically is with him because he's Todrick Hall. He wants someone to love him for him and also has their own thing going. Hence why, even though you and Liam ended on good terms, don't date people within your job situation. Then he says, I don't do drugs or really drink. Doesn't have to be sober. Excuse me, but it can't be part of your identity. So he said, don't be out here, don't be Andy Dick, basically. Don't be out here ODing on the side of the road and having people video it and send it to TMZ. That's what he's basically saying. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the latest story regarding Andy Dick. Now, followers praised Hall for the list and applauded most of his requirements. They also commented on his beautiful penmanship. That's what I said. He definitely is a good writer. That was one of my pluses when I was in school, is that I loved writing penmanship. Like I love writing cursive. I like writing in print. People always gave me compliments on my handwriting. We don't really write much anymore. I kind of miss it because we always use computers and things that and the other. But yeah, a good penmanship, that's always something great to have. However, the list provoked a different response when shared by the Instagram account of Gay Magazine, which is editorially centered on Black queer life. Some of the commenters remarked on the fact that several of Hall's exes have been white. They suggested the multi-hyphenate forgot to include that in his list of requirements. Didn't I tell y'all? Hall himself responded, because if you're going to make a story about it, and I don't know if they tagged him in the Gay Mag, let me see if they did, because I do have it open. No, they didn't tag him, but I'm sure, Todrick knows there's somebody out here talking about him. Um, he responded, thanking the account for sharing his list and dismissing the claim he's only interested in non-Black men. He said, I love that you reposted this. Thanks for the advertisement. Send the boys, I love that you reposted this. Laugh emoji. Thanks for the advertisement. Heart emoji. Send the boys my way. Contrary to popular belief, they don't need to be white. In fact, I prefer they weren't. In fact, he responded to numerous comments to refute the belief that he only dates white guys, because there was a lot of people that was writing that in the comments. And he wrote to an action underscore photo. I don't know, I'm being real specific with these things, but I guess it don't matter. He said, I never said I don't like white boys. I love them, but that doesn't mean I'm not an equal opportunist. Some of the Black men I've dated are not as open and don't want their families seeing them posted up with a public figure. Didn't I say that? I said a lot of times when you're dealing with Black people, they want to live the life in secret, but don't want to live the life in public. And I'm not saying that you got to be out here with your legs spreading your ass ate on Twitter, because that's the only place that allows that. What I'm saying is that if I'm dating somebody, I want to shout it from the rooftops. If I'm in love with a man and he happens to be Black, I want to be able to say that I'm in love with this person and this is who my partner is, and I'm proud to be standing next to you as my significant other. I don't want to have to be having to dip it low, bring it up slow, popping it around, or whatever the hell Christina Milian done said in that song. I don't want to be able to have to dip it low and keep a secret and all that other stuff. I don't want to be that escape song. You're my little secret. That's how we should keep it. I want to be able to shout it from the rooftop. And if that's not what you're willing to give, then if that white man is going to be able to not be afraid to be out here in this relationship with me, then so be it. But if you sit up here and you got your racial blind spots, then yes, I'm going to call your ass out. And I think that's the overall argument that people always have. I take people at face value. I don't always try to sit up in here and just, oh, well, even though you said what you said, I don't believe you. And I created this narrative around you based off of your past reputation and whatever the stuff is. I judge people on how they approach me in this situation as it is. He said, okay, so then I was like looking for where the rest. He said, that's their story to tell, not mine. The white boys I've dated don't seem to care, but I just don't like people telling me who I date when they don't know and it's not the truth. I am truly single, and if a Black man isn't sliding in my DMs because they think I only date white boys, that's limiting my chances of finding the right future guy for me. So I just want it to be said. I love Black men. So if you're cute, hit me up. And that's the thing too, is like, look, he's putting it out there. He says that he will date a Black man. Y'all have to shoot your own shot. But I guess, yeah, people go by what it is that they see. If all they've seen you with is white boys, then black men feel like I'm not good enough to shoot my shot towards this guy. So why even try? That is a mentality that people deal with. And like I said, a lot of times when you date white boys, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm out and proud. I don't have to deal with the struggles that a gay black man has to deal with. White gay men have their own issues they got to deal with being openly gay, but at the end of the day, they can always resort to white. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But for the most part, white people only have the gayness going against them. They can always be white and maneuver in rooms and all this other stuff. You got the black and you got the gay. Those are two strikes. Being male, we always gonna be good on the male part. But black and gay, those are two strikes. So black men still have their crosses to bear in dealing with in that situation. But yeah, white guys aren't going to care. This is why you see a lot of white and black men date interracially. I mean, if you about the assimilation of whiteness, that's a whole nother that's something you got to deal with and answer to the man upstairs. So, and then some commentators also remarked on Hall seeking a man with a big booty. This also prompted another reply from Hall, appearing to indicate he's more of a top in the bedroom. Because a lot of people out here thinking that he verse. But they said, I was today years old when I found out Todrick is a verse top. And he said, who said anything about verse? Verse first, verse first. Walk into a room, verse first. So he's like, I'm not verse. Yeah, I was like, here's the post. Wait, that's not the post. This is the post. I was today years old when I found out Todrick is a top. And he said, who said anything about being verse? He said, oh, put me in my place. So it's like, you never know what somebody's into. It's like, yeah, I don't know why people think just because you dress in drag and do the hula, that means that you're a bottom. I know a lot of drag queens, and I'm not saying that Todrick is necessarily a drag queen, but Todrick does drag in a lot of his performances. And just because he dresses up in drag, oh wait, that's not even what I want to do. I gotta close that. Just because he dresses in drag and stuff in a lot of his shows doesn't necessarily mean that makes him a bottom. There's a lot of tops that are drag queens. So shout out to you, Todrick. You out here doing your thing. He's giving y'all a list of requirements of what it is that he looks for in a man. And so, yeah, if you happen to be of the Levitical spectrum or more the G in the LGBTQIA plus, and you happen to be white or black or anything in between, definitely hit Todrick up because he says y'all can shoot your shot. And his ex Liam said he'll be willing to sift through the applications to see who he's compatible with. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? I know it was a lot, but I was like, yeah, and when it's coming about love relationships or whatever, let's break it on down. Let's see what we might be interested in. What actually a part of the list do you agree with? And so I know there was one person that was in my comments like, why y'all here clowning Todrick and saying all the all the things, whatever the case is. I know Lanier said that he, when I posted this story the first time, he said that I agree with most of the first list. This is the second list where I started to say stereotypical piece of shit. But there was one person I believe that was in the comments that was like, "Why is everybody clowning Todrick and over this thing?" I actually kind of agree with everything that he posted in regards of the relationship. I mean, I had a bit of an issue with the second page. The first page was cute or whatever. I mean, I was agreeing with a lot of that. But I think maybe it's because of Todrick and the reputation that Todrick has had in the past is why people are struggling to take this list seriously. So I definitely want to hear from y'all in regards of what is you agree or don't agree with regarding this list. Let me know your overall thoughts on this list in the comments down below.